The next two presenters are folks that are coming in from some of the large companies here in our region that do quite a bit of work in the clean tech sector, and we're really grateful for both of these gentlemen taking time out of their busy mornings to be here. First, we have sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Frank Bevc. He's with Siemens Energy. Frank is currently the director, technology policy. He's the director of the technology policy and research programs at Siemens Energy. He's responsible for the evaluation, selection, and development of advanced energy products and technologies that serve the global energy markets. Current product initiatives cover a diverse field, including carbon capture technologies, smart grid distribution systems, advanced electric power transmission components, advanced turbo machinery systems, renewable energy systems, and supporting technologies for all of the above. With that, Mr. Frank Bevc.
Thank you, Krista. Jim is always a very hard act to follow, so I certainly will not have his degree of enthusiasm, even though I'm pretty familiar with the topic that I have. I'd like to thank both the Orange County folks and the UCF folks for inviting me out today to talk a little bit about Siemens and about clean tech. Siemens, or Westinghouse I should say, has been a part of Orange County since 1980, when about 20 people moved into some rented office space in 1011 East Colonial. And then about a year later there were about 150 of them that moved out to an abandoned Kmart at 6655 East Colonial. And then in 1983, a little over 25 years ago, we moved to our current campus out across the street from UCF. So we have partnered with UCF and been a part of Central Florida in the energy and power generation fields for 25 years now, and Orlando is home to all of us, and we enjoy being here. What I'd like to try to talk about in the next hopefully 20-25 minutes is to give you a little overview of Siemens and Siemens here in Orlando, to talk about Siemens' global portfolio of clean tech and environmentally focused products and businesses, to talk specifically about the success story that the wind energy business has been to Siemens and to the Orlando facility for Siemens, and then to talk really about three approaches for clean tech growth through research and university partnerships, through venture capital funds and funding from venture capital firms, and then lastly to talk a little bit on federal funding and what's in the stimulus package that was proposed last week and will be making the press and headlines for the next month or so. So with that, basically Siemens is one of the largest electronics companies in the world. In euros, which means you multiply by 1.3 to 1.4, which means we're about $100 billion a year company with 427,000 employees worldwide. Spend about 3.8 billion on R&D each year. That's in euros. Here in the U.S., we're also a major company. We're about in terms of dollars, about a $19 billion a year company with almost 70,000 employees, and we do about a third of our global research here in the U.S. So Siemens, although it's headquartered in Germany, is very much a U.S. company, and of course the U.S. subsidiaries are a big part of that. Siemens is organized into three sectors, working from the bottom: industry, healthcare, and energy. Industry includes the Siemens Building Technologies, which talks an awful lot about the zero energy buildings that Jim had mentioned. I'm not quite sure why our corporate people make the claim that we process 100% of the mail in the United States. Sometimes that's not always a good thing to admit to. The other claim we make is that we handle baggage at 100 of the largest airports here in the U.S. That's another thing that probably isn't too good to admit to and claim as a challenge, but nevertheless, we're part of the infrastructure of both the U.S. and major economies throughout the world. In healthcare, everything from hearing aids to CAT scan systems and PET scan systems. Medical information technology, we're the largest processor of medical IT in the United States, which means, of course, what's being talked about in Washington these days is of great interest to Siemens. And then the part of Siemens that I come from, the energy segment, is as a global segment about a $23 billion a year kind of business. We have almost 84,000 employees worldwide. It's a profitable business. About 25% of our sales come from the Americas, most of that, over 20%, from the United States. You can see that we're split fairly evenly otherwise between Asia and Europe for most of our sales. Germany, being Siemens' home country, is no longer the major market for our company. Basically, it's one of the smaller, well, it's the largest European market, but it's certainly not the dominant market for Siemens sales these days. Our energy sector is divided into 6 divisions.